Oh, wait, where did Tarek go?
We live. Hey,
Oh.
hey. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? How's it going, everybody? How's it going, everybody? Let me hit send on this tweet. Hi. And we're here. We're at the lit stream. You guys recently got here. I was able to ask Tom Bomb, so we will just do it all over again. Oh, my Wi-Fi is acting bad. But we will start off by saying, how's it going? Start off with Tarek.
Going well, man. It's Friday. I ain't got no job. No, I'm just kidding. Um, oh man, it's Friday. It's a good day. Ready for this weekend to kick off.
It's going all right here. I was telling Crunk it snowed all day here yesterday, um, which and it got real cold for the first time. So like it would probably be a great time to like go up in the mountains and ski, but I know that that's probably going to be a hassle to try and do this weekend. But yeah, other than that, pretty good.
Good. Well, I'm all right. It's the weekend. I work for the school district, so it is the weekend for me. And next week's a 3-day weekend, so I'm just trying to enjoy this weekend now. I'm going a little trip to Chicago. I live in a smaller area, so a trip to Chicago, that's like it's a cool thing. So
How many
we're
hours is
gonna
that for you?
go. It's like a 3-hour drive.
It's
That's
not
not
too
bad.
bad.
No, not at all. And so yeah, gonna stay with some friends and just rage basically. So eat good food, drink good drinks, have a good time. I'm looking forward to it. But
That sounds like a great weekend.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Uh, Retweet on if you're watching on Twitter, hit the thumbs up on YouTube, all those social media admin things that I'm supposed to be saying. Um, I'm just very excited about our guests. We'll just get into the topic so we can bring them on. We're gonna start. I was gonna do the Ronaldo interview, but I wasn't aware that it's 2 hours long, and I have not had time to like sit and truly digest it. So I'm actually gonna make it a pod thing
One,
because I what
why would you subject yourself to watching 2 hours of
because
one,
I
the
want
Portuguese, and then two, Pierce Morgan? No, absolutely not. I respect
yes,
myself too much.
and that's
I
what I'm
respect
gonna do
myself
it
too much
for.
for that not
I'm gonna do it for. I'm gonna do it for the. I feel like we can just laugh at United. It's
Oh,
off season. There's like not really much to do content wise, so I figure I could just take up those saucy clips where he's just shitting on the team, and we can just like hardy har on the pod on Sunday. That's what I figured.
okay.
You know,
All right.
yeah.
So you're taking one for the team. I can appreciate that.
I'm doing it for y'all. I'm doing it for the shady gang. That's exactly what I'm doing it for. Uh, but I want to get to the Qatar's announcement how they are killing alcohol sales. So this is the statement from FIFA. Following discussions between host country authorities and FIFA, a decision has been made to focus the sale of alcoholic beverages on the FIFA Fan Festival. Other fan destinations and licensed venues. removing sales points of beer from Qatar's FIFA World Cup 2022 stadium's parameters. They're still going to sell Budweiser Zero, though. So don't worry if you still need that like taste of beer. They got you.
So it's non-alcoholic. Okay.
Yes. So they will still have their stations. They still have they will have areas where people can go and sober up. Is it still the World Cup? Like that was at least the one thing that you were going to have in Qatar, other than potentially disappearing for no reason. You could drink. Now you can't even really do that. So what is even your take? Do you even care? Like, what is it, like a hearty hard because you're laughing at the everyday person who said fuck it and I'm just going to go to Qatar anyway for the World Cup? What's your thoughts? Let's start with Tarek. Because I assume you're the upstanding dad, so you should probably have like
I am
good
very
answer.
upstanding dad, very much so. I don't actually drink, so it wouldn't affect me. But
Yes.
that being said, I don't understand how you even get to this place. If I'm FIFA and I don't, this would have been decided a long time ago. We wouldn't still be having this conversation, a week out. Again, just because I don't do it doesn't mean that I would take that opportunity away from other people who do enjoy that, right? So this is just really silly to me. And again, it just goes to show why this should have never been in Qatar to begin with. They made so many they've taken down on so many things in order to make this work. And it's a farce, quite honestly, in my opinion. So yeah, I think that this is horrible decision.
I mean, I agree with Tarek. I read a few things, and I think my biggest takeaway was like FIFA better get ready for that InBev Anheuser-Busch lawsuit, because it's coming. Like, because that they're losing. Think about all of the money that InBev is about to lose off of this. Like, when you thought that this was decided like years ago. So yeah, I'm coming for my money if I'm InBev. I think the other thing that I really thought that was really striking is that like Brazil also had similar laws in 2014 on their books, and FIFA made them change those laws, like so that like alcohol could be served in those stadiums. So it's like, well, you did that with a previous host country. Why are you not doing with this host country? And like, and I do understand like the religious implications that are behind that, because they are a Muslim nation and they are adhering to their very strict version of Islam. But I don't know. That just seems really wild that FIFA like said that to Brazil, but are not saying this to this sponsor. And like, you wonder if that just has any, like, if all of the atrocities that have happened, like, to make this World Cup happen, there are one of the reasons why they're not pushing back on this.
They're paying $75 million every World Cup. I just don't understand it. Again, to your point, yeah, the religious thing is I understand it from Qatar's perspective. I don't understand it from FIFA's perspective. If this was going to be the decision, and it sounds like that wasn't the case. They had been planning for them to be beer sales within the stadiums, I thought. And then something has changed over the last week to a few weeks, at least as far as we can tell publicly. No problem with Qatar saying we don't want this. My issue is with FIFA saying that, okay, then we'll just change. We should have never got to this place.
Right.
Well, it's about time we bring on our guests. I wanted you to come on before, so Andrea, how did it know? I did it again.
You did.
How do you say it again?
Say it with me. Andrea.
Yes. Andrea. Dang it. See, I do that. Andrea. All right.
I was going to say, I think we got it all jacked up last time, like 3 different ways, and it was all
yes.
So.
And Dana. Woo. All right.
Yes.
Yes. We did. I was able to do this before, so I was ready for that. So we're good. How's it going? Welcome. See, I've already ruined it. No,
You're
Andrea.
Andre,
I'll
I have
tell
the
you
yips
what.
now.
Andrea.
Heather, my mother calls me Gigi. For you, I will make an exception.
Namaste. My heart is full.
Oh,
GD. I appreciate it. It will take away the yips. All right, so let's start with you. How do you feel about this? Do you even care? Oh, I
Well,
actually do want to add one thing. So apparently in the suites, they will still allow alcohol at drinks. So basically, if you have the money to buy the good stuff, you can drink the good stuff. So
well,
now with that,
well. Thank you all for having me today. So this was very nice to do at the end of the week. So it's always good to be in all of your wonderful company. And Dana, nice to meet you. So do I think this is a good decision by Doha and by Qatar? No. Do I think it is the right decision? Absolutely. And for all of the things that you said that is wrong with Qatar, we should not be in this place. This is not somewhere that should be holding a sporting event. They've been talking about the human rights abuses for this since the games were announced. Um, they hemmed up Real Sports with Brian Gumble. They went over to talk about it. They were burying the people who died building these stadiums in the concrete. And so that alone should have disqualified them from the jump. But here we are. So does it make sense to do this? No. Do I understand it? And was Qatar right for doing this? In their opinion, yes, for three main reasons. Yes, InBev will sue. Qatar will not miss that money. They could give them 75 million times 75 million and still go to bed on a stack of money. They won't miss it. InBev could sue. They won't care. Number two, think about our world right now. We have the last World Cup host embroiled in a horrible war. And so that's an issue. Then you have these people wanting, everybody wanting to come over and drink because it's a holiday. You don't want another diplomatic incident. You don't want something where you've got people from this country and people from that country because you're not getting out of Qatar. They are going to keep you. They don't want a Brittany Griner situation on their hands. A woman just had to get out of Qatar under cover of darkness. A member of the FIFA committee from Mexico. She got some, extracurricular activities done horizontally and vertically while she was in Qatar, which was not smart, and they found out about it because somebody told, and she had to run out under cover of darkness. So if they want to do that to you for doing what they call extracurricular activities, can you imagine what some drunk ass Englishman will say to get hemmed up in Qatar and not be seen for a little while? They are trying to avoid a Brittany Griner situation. You don't want that. So is it the right thing to do in this instance? Yes. Is it stupid? Yes, because we never should have been here in the first place. But I don't blame them. They pulled a fast one on FIFA, and it's all about money.
Dana,
Yeah, that's a follow up, but yeah, I
right?
tend to agree. Yeah, I tend to agree that I think it's for the best in this country for alcohol sales not to go forth. Um, I do think InBev and I hope Budweiser do get some money, even though it's not really going to harm Qatar. But I do think I'm from St. Louis, so I want Budweiser to prosper. Um, so but yeah, in general, yeah, I think it's a good idea. It's a good idea for them to ban the alcohol sales. I guess like the wider audience. I know you said people in the suites can still, like executives can still drink, but I think the everyday kind of match going spectator, I think it's a wise decision to limit alcohol.
From my understanding, a lot of those countries over, like from my friends who have visited there, a lot of those countries try to like alcohol sales are still permitted in the hotel, but like they want to try and keep like their own citizens from drinking necessarily, and that being accessible to them. So I guess I didn't really think about like the geopolitical aspects of that, but that was like a really good call out, Andrea. Like every time that you come on, you say something, at least one thing that blows my mind. So like that, you've already done it within the first 15 minutes.
And want to say shout out to Franklin Cap. What up? Thanks for being here. Let's keep it moving to so new topic, but we're going to stay in Qatar. There's obviously teams are going to want to do friendlies to keep their players who are home in playing shape. There's the Dubai Super Cup, and I shared with y'all the rules, and I'm going to go with them to the Shady Gang. But it is from December 8th to the 16th, and it is in Qatar. The teams playing in it are Arsenal, Liverpool, AC Milan, and Lyon. So the Premier League teams is how it came on my, peripheral. So the rules of competition, I enjoy this, and I actually moved me to a tangent. So just stay with me. So the rules of competition is 3 points will be awarded to the winner of each match. However, there's a slight tweak to the system of draws, with both teams receiving 2 points if they draw. And then at the end of the match, whatever the result, there will be a penalty shootout. And then the winner of that will receive an additional point, meaning that if you win and you win the shootout, you could get 4 points in that match. And there's no overall winner. Basically, whoever has the most points in the match wins. So that I bring that up because that actually switches me to the Premier League All-Star game. It's going to happen. It's coming. And this has made me think of a brilliant new way. It can be won in a battle of three. So there could be a first half, a second half, and the third could be a penalty shootout. And that way you would have to kind of like be tactical with who you like sub in and out, because you would need them in the second half in order to participate with the penalty kicks. You would have to use everybody. I don't know. I like the rules. First question is, how do you feel about the rules? The second question is, what do you think about my Premier League idea? What do you think about my Premier League idea? Let's start with Dana.
So when it comes to football, I'm a little bit of a traditionalist, so I don't really need all-star games and football and these new formats and things like that, to be honest. And I'm only like that about football for whatever reason. I'm not like a traditionalist or a conservative, like in real life. But I mean, I don't know, for something like this, I guess it's kind of fun, because it's not like for really anything, just like a little fun tournament. So maybe something like the summer or something like a summer preseason thing. I'd be kind of down for it. But yeah, I wouldn't need this. This wouldn't make me excited if it was anything serious.
Let the church say amen. Because I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. I don't need all this extra stuff. Stop messing with a game that's great already as it is. Why we feel like
it could be greater?
Why we feel the need to fix stuff that's not broken? I don't know.
Who doesn't like sprinkles? Who doesn't like cherries on top?
Is that what you call them? Cherries on top? Anyway.
Yeah.
No. So like the like this 14 tournament format is not necessarily new. Like I know that I know they do that in a lot of women's international tournaments. Like the She Believes Cup is just like a 14, like every 4-team round robin. The Algarve Cup, the same sort of deal. I think the Arnold Palmer Cup is similar. So like that particular format is not necessarily new. I didn't mind the idea of like giving 2 points for a draw. Like I don't mind it. I think it would kind of like incentivize like bus parking teams to like park the bus more. So like that, I think that's one of the drawbacks of it. As far as like the All-Star game, like I mean, I think I said on one of the episodes when David Villa, who is a rapist, and we'll just leave that as that. When he first came over to MLS and was introduced to the concept of an all-star game, he like really bought into it and was like really excited about it. So I think that there might be like some player buy-in for it. And I think like if you were going to do it, that would be interesting because then you would have like 4 different, it sounds like, Crunk, what you're suggesting is like 4 different all-star teams. And like maybe like from what, like Ligue 1, Bundesliga, La Liga, and the Premier League. Yes.
Wait, one more time.
So like, if you were going to do this 4-team format, you would either have to
No, I don't want any of that. I'm just primarily, I just want, so though my whole idea is you need to be able to represent everybody in this Premier League All-Star game.
Okay.
And this is me going back to my idea like forever ago. Like I have not let that go. I'm not letting that go ever since Todd Bowley has mentioned this. So, because the only way that it's really going to happen is if every team gets represented. And so we don't really want to see all the players from a player from every team. We're going to be honest about that, but they still need to be able to get their chances. So, the first half might not be the best names, but they're going to be hungry. They're going to want to show off. They're going to do some great things. It's going to be very entertaining. The second half, then we can put in the names that we really know, and then we'll have the shootout with these names that we know and the best goalies. They could even put in like specialist shot blockers. It could be fun. That's what I was saying. I believe it was Tarek who got so upset with me that he was like, no, we should make this like a traveling thing, and it should be a team from here and a team from there. And then that's when like a week later they're like, idea, the best teams are going to play and they're going to travel. And I was like, Tarek, you're a genius. So
see, and I'm mad that I even entertained this idea because it's still going on. I shouldn't have even entertained it in the beginning. Crunk is still out here handing out participation trophies to players that don't deserve to be on an all-star team.
Okay.
I don't understand why we're doing this, man.
But this would be hilarious though. Like I did think about this as Crunk was saying this. How hilarious would it be to like, okay, so like every team has to have a representative. Like, so like probably your best team, like player on a bad team is usually the keeper, right? What if you just had keepers as like you have a surplus of keepers, so you just put them as outfield players?
No.
So you I want.
Oh, so now the idea is too crazy, Crunk. Now it's too crazy.
No, who doesn't want to see Jordan Pickford at D mid?
No, I want to see Ederson at D mid. That's what I want to see at D mid.
So, mind on this. Number one, it's Liverpool and AC Milan and Arsenal. I don't care. I'm not watching. This will be background noise. Are the Folks in Blue playing? They are not. I do not. So, second thing is, I think this is a good idea, but you are missing. I feel like we're all missing the point, and the point is injury. I'm older than all of you, and I remember Battle of the Network Superstars back back in the day.
Did you say you were older than me?
I'm pretty sure I am. How old are you? How old are you?
I am. Sometimes I have to think about it. I think I'm 45.
Oh, baby.
I don't know. I'm old. Just say it that way.
Okay, so am I. So I remember Battle of the Network Superstars back in the day, and so you would have like Lee Majors, the $6 Million Man, and you would have Lawrence Taylor and all these folks, and they would go and play like tag or like tug of war, and it was a big deal during the summer to watch because you didn't have shit else to do. So this just seems like Battle of the Network Superstars in this particular context. Somebody's gonna get hurt. However, I like the whole skills challenge thing because that's like NBA All-Star Weekend. That's awesome.
Yeah, let's do it. That's all I wanted to hear. I like it. Everything else before, I don't care about it.
Major League Baseball. That's the only way something like this works. And that just makes the Americanization of English football, which I agree with Dana. I'm a bit of a traditionalist in this aspect. I like the fact that it is what it is, and you can depend on this every single day. I agree with Dana in this aspect, but you and I have to talk, because I have a whole relegation system based on British football and English football for the NFL, and I have that system written down. I have PowerPoints. So yes, I feel your pain.
Okay. Okay.
Now I will sign up for that. Bringing relegation to American sports, I'll sign up on that,
I like that.
any
That's a great
day,
idea.
because
It would
I'm
be
so sick of the whole tanking thing that's happening. You know, teams are upset when they win right now.
I mean,
exactly. The only
I,
problem with that is that the Dallas Cowboys would be permanently relegated, and Jerry Jones would have a connection fit, so it would not work. But because the minute you relegate the Dallas Cowboys or the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's a wrap, because no one can deal with that. What do you mean we play on Wednesday night football? What the hell do you mean? So no, gonna happen. What do you mean we got to play the Des Moines All Stars, the Des Moines Cornhuskers? What the hell? It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Not that money. So it's not happening. Not happening. It's a wonderful crisis, but it's not happening. But I like the keeper challenge. I'd watch that in a heartbeat.
Fine. And honestly, I know it's a bad idea, but it's now just a thing that I'm gonna hover over, and when it does happen, I can just like maniacally laugh for 45 straight minutes, and so it's gonna be great.
that is the most sicko behavior I've ever seen you engage in. That is real sicko behavior.
The pod personality in me. I'm working on characters. I told you I may be just embracing the full hill, and that's what I'm going to do for the podcast. I'm going to become a dark person, and you just gotta enjoy the ride. Luckily, I got you guys. Like you guys are always here to tell me that you're completely wrong. What was that?
You're making a heel turn. Is that what I hear? You're gonna,
Yeah.
Hollywood Hogan on us?
Well, Hulk Hogan, nah, more like a Roman, some a little, yeah,
I went. Yeah, Hollywood Hogan when he went to the. So yes.
yeah. I mean that was a good one, yeah. But I want to, speaking of heel turn, Ivan Toney, that the recent announcement that he has been charged with misconduct for betting 232 times between 2017 and April 21st. They actually have receipts on it, which I'll get to. But the first thing is, well, obviously they do, but the Football Association chief executive, Mark Bullingham, came out in an interview and he said that Toney wasn't even chosen because of the whole betting situation. They just said it was based off of footballing grounds. But Karen Trippier, he was banned for 10 weeks in 2020 for letting people know that he was going from Tottenham to Atletico, and people bet on that. And he played after. So it's FA Rule E8. He breached it 232 times between the 25th of February 2017 to the 23rd of January 2021. He started doing it when he was in Newcastle, and he was under investigation 7 months before he ended up in Brentford. So he's 26 now. I would assume he gets a lifetime ban, or at least like a 10-year ban, which means the end of his career. What are the thoughts of this? Is this like, I mean, obviously this is a huge thing because that's 232 times. This is like the footballing version of Pete Rose. We're used to this, I guess, in a way. We'll start with the traditionals. Dana.
I didn't know he could be banned for like 10 years or something, or in his career. When I first read, it seems like he did to gambling. And so I kind of felt bad for him. Even though I did wish they had found this out maybe a few weeks ago when he didn't play last week, that maybe would have helped us out. But But like all in all, like if he's addicted to gambling,
Mm.
you know, I feel bad for him. Hope he gets help if they decide to end his career. I mean, those are the consequences of his actions. So he just has to deal with it. But I'm a fan of Ivan Toney. His
Yes.
game. You know, I think he's a great player. I think he should have taken him to the World Cup. So, but yeah, I'm kind of just whatever about it.
And I'm just throwing a number out there. I don't really know, but when I've been reading about it, they keep calling it like the most historic, like the biggest thing of all time, or like so. From the papers, the English papers, they're making it seem like a
Okay.
big deal. So that's why I'm like, are they going to do something unprecedented and like potentially ban him?
Well, they would only be able to ban him in the FA.
And
Like,
exactly right.
like
That's
so,
that was my next
like
question.
so, like that. I mean, to me, that just means like, okay, well, I mean, I guess I got to learn Spanish and like I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to La Liga, like, because like to Dana's point, like he's a good player, like, though, like that's a quality striker that any team in Europe would want to have. So I don't think his career would be over, like his English
Yes.
playing career would
Well,
be over.
national team wise, I'm sure they could ban him from that at least. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The FA
I
is-
mean, and they, I'm sure that they will. It would be nice to see them, like to Dana's point, like if they are going to ban him, it would be nice to say, like, even though we are banning you from playing, like, we still want to make sure that you get the help that you need, and
Mhm.
like make sure that those resources are provided for him. But I mean, I don't expect any footballing federation across the globe to do right by anybody. I get like when you read the FA's guy's quote, it reminded me a lot of USSF when Vlatko this summer said that he wasn't going to take he wouldn't have taken Kristen Press to the CONCACAF W tournament even if she wouldn't have blown out her knee. It was like she was pretty informed before she got hurt, so I'm not sure why you wouldn't want a winger of her quality on your team, but okay. But like FAs say a lot of like wonky stuff like that, so like that didn't necessarily like surprise me.
So two things. I think if he were to be suspended, I would expect any other league to uphold that suspension for whatever that amount of time would be. Just like if you get if you are on a red card when you get sold to a different team in a different league, I think they make you make you sit out that game, serve that red card suspension. So I suspect there would be some degree of we are all, as far as FAs or associations, we are all in this together, and so we'll uphold that. That being said, I'm looking at something here, and it says that Joey Barton, who we all know, was banned for 5 months during his spell as a Burnley player in 2017 after he placed more than 1,000 football-related bets over a 10-year period.
Okay,
Now
so
his
yeah.
was over a 10-year period,
Oh, okay.
it's a much bigger number, but it was only for 5 months. It was only for 5 months. So I suspect he will probably get a suspension, but I wouldn't expect it to be more than
Yeah, it won't be that long then. Thanks for bringing that up. Wow, 1,000 bets. Boy was going crazy. I hope he was winning.
Well, and it was harder to make bets then. It wasn't like you could just look at the phone and just bloop. You had to be intentional about it. But Joey Barton was a bit of an ass, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But my question is, Tark, I'm glad that you brought that up. I didn't know if it was something like if it was like boxing, where if you're suspended in one place, you're suspended in every place. You can't just go somewhere else. But has he been alleged that any of his bets have been on Brentford? Because that is very Pete Rosian if he did that. If he bet on his own team, then he should be in a lifetime ban, and that's a wrap. But if he did not bet on his own team, then I don't think he would get a lifetime ban. The only way that I think he would do that is if you bet on Brentford while you were paying for Brentford. which is what Pete Rose did, which is what Calvin Ridley of the Atlanta Falcons did. He did the same thing. He bet on the Falcons while being on the Falcons, and he lost the year. He's serving that suspension right now. So if you bet on Brentford, that's it. So I don't know if that's been made clear. If he bet on his own team or if he bet other places. I hope he wasn't that stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. What I'm reading says that during this time that he's under investigation for, he played for Scunthorpe United, Wigan Athletic, Peterborough United, and for Brentford. So his time at those 4 clubs. But in theory, if you bet on your team, that's a problem. Yeah, it's a bigger issue than, in my mind, than if you bet on somebody else, because you have the ability to throw the game.
Exactly. And that's where Pete Rose got tripped up. That's where Calvin Ridley got tripped up. If he bet on a team while he was on that team, then that's it.
To Pete Rose's defense, though, if you can do that, he claims he never bet against his team to lose. He would always bet that they would win. So he wasn't trying to gain. But I totally get it. You should be betting on your own team either way. But to me, there's a difference if you bet on them to win, all the time. It's not. You're still playing to your best of your ability.
There's inspiration.
And I think that's what Calvin Ridley also used the same logic too. He was like, I was always and I think I believe he was hurt when he was placing his bets. So he really did not have a way to influence the game, which is interesting, but whatever.
Which makes his behavior even more stupid. So because you know that you are going to be watched when you do these things. I don't understand why people with the most to lose do the most stupid things. I got $2. I'm not going to Prairie Meadows, the local casino here, and go bet it. When you got millions of pounds, why would you do such a thing? I don't know. I think as a newer Premier League fan, and being, I guess this is the American in me, because sports betting and this permissiveness of sports betting is very new. Because this used to be, we have a team in Las Vegas now. That was verboten just 10, 15 years ago. That wasn't something that would have ever been thought of. And now there are 2 teams in Las Vegas, with soon to be a 3rd, hopefully. So I think the permissiveness of betting and the betting culture, there are betting teams who sponsor, or betting companies who sponsor teams. All you see on the electronic advertisements around the stadium are for bets. So it's a bit of a more permissible thing versus us American puritanical people who think it's already a few years ago. So I think for me personally, if you bet on your team, I don't bet on the team that you're playing for a person, I would say you're done. Determined.
I'm not really hearing you pretty well. I don't know if whatever you're on is, if it's muffling your audio.
Oh, okay. Then I'll switch. I'll be right back.
Well,
while she's doing
go for it.
No, I was just gonna say, I think the rule is just betting on, in this case, football in general. Doesn't matter what team you're betting on. It's just that you can't bet on. And I think, again, you have that inside information. It's kind of like insider trading with stocks. Again, I don't have much money, so why am I even concerned about that? But if you have inside information, you have a better chance of beating the odds, right? I know that this player is hurt. I know that this player has got this going on, whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and bet against this team or whatever. Again, it's not right, I don't think, in the grand scheme of things, but I don't care enough to really concern myself with it. Again, to your point, as long as you're not betting against your team, I don't really care.
And I wonder, Crunky said, everything that you were reading in the British papers was saying, lifetime ban, this, that, and the third. This sounds a lot of Sterling-esque type coverage, versus Joey Barton, who also so I wonder how much race is a factor in this.
Yeah. True.
So I would hope that they would be more they would be consistent in their punishment.
Yeah. And
Sorry, guys.
no worries. Well, I'll keep it moving to MLS. This whole this whole new information, people dropping just like bombs on us. So they recently announced that instead of just being able to get most MLS games with their Apple Plus subscription, you can purchase a season pass, which includes broadcasting teams, production enhancements, and all the ways fans can enjoy MLS content from across the Apple ecosystem. That is from Apple's words. That Apple Plus subscription, it would cost $79, and you would get all games, no blackouts. And if you just want to pay for the footy in general without the Apple Plus, it would be $99. And then you can do $13 a month with Apple Plus, or $15 a month without it. The only problem is if you are not an Apple user, you have to go to tv.apple.com in order to watch the matches, because they will never make an Apple TV app for Android, because, it's just Anna between the two. So it is what it is. I was hesitant paying the $7 a month. So any more than that, I don't really know. I'm not that big into an NYC FC, that maybe once they get the new stadium, but that's years from now. Is anyone here, I guess, that interested in MLS to make that commitment?
Not I. I don't have an allegiance to a team other than I watch NYCFC because of reasons. I watch Sporting KC because they're 3 hours south of me, and Tom gets me all crunk for games. So I'll watch Minnesota United FC because I'm in Minneapolis a lot. I'm thinking about moving to Minneapolis. My home supporters club is Twin Citizens in Minneapolis. So I'll go to a Minnesota United game, and they are fun, but I don't hold an allegiance enough to a team to pay for it.
I mean, I do like Sporting Kansas City is my domestic club. I do root for them. And I guess $80 is a lot to pay for MLS content, just to get access to MLS content. I mean, I use Apple Plus, so I was hoping this will be great. I already have the Apple TV, and my sister and I have a little family plan together. This will be when they made the announcement that they were first going to get the rights. It was this will be great. This is I won't have to sign up for another service. This is something I already have. And then to hear that you're gonna have to pay to watch it, and it sounds like there's going to be some stuff that's in front of their paywall, so you'll be able to watch some of that content, but for as someone who does not necessarily live in the market, that's for the team that I support, that really sucks.
Yeah,
I'll never be able to without subscribing, I'll never be able to watch my team play. So and that just really, really sucks.
How do you feel about it, Dana?
So we just got the newest MLS team in St. Louis Soccer Club, maybe. So sad I don't know the name of the team. But NYCFC because but I do plan on going to maybe a couple games. They are my local now, so I'm gonna root for them. But that's as far as I'm gonna go with MLA. Watch it. I'll just go to my games this season to see the local team and leave it at that. I'm not really.
That would be nice to be able to go to the start of a club like that. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Shout
That
out
is very
to
cool.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, they
Shout out
played
to Akil
Leverkusen.
Watts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Dana,
oh.
where are
Mhm.
they gonna play?
There's
I
a
don't
new.
know if
They
she
built a stadium
but
downtown
where
St.
is
Louis.
it? Really? Like where like
It's
near where the
downtown St.
Rams
Louis.
used to play?
It's near where the hockey stadium is. But
Okay.
yeah, in downtown, yeah, the dome is a little further, like northeast downtown. But yeah,
I used to
I
live
can walk to
in
the stadium where I
Springfield.
live.
Yeah. I used to
Oh,
live in
that's cool.
Springfield. I used to
Okay,
be in St. Louis a
Illinois,
long time ago. So I used to live in Springfield, Illinois. So yeah, I know
Springfield,
St. Louis
Missouri,
pretty well. Illinois.
Illinois.
Yeah.
Okay, Illinois. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
somebody in our local supporters club who drives from Springfield to come to watch the games with us
Oh,
at a pub here. So yeah.
In
Those
St. Louis, does he drive a Porsche? There is a
I don't know
guy
what
that
he
lives in
drives, but
There is a guy in Springfield that drives a Porsche all the way to Chicago for Chicago MCFC games. That I used to belong to that supporters club, and this is so Pep. They had a video for him because he has not missed a match at that pub in Chicago for like 10 years. And so he drives up rain, sleet,
wow.
snow, or cover or night. So Pep recorded a message for him, the whole team. They signed a jersey, Aguero, Pep, a few other people. So I'm like, well, dang, is he driving to St. Louis now? But yeah, I remember that
I
clearly.
don't know if it's him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
his
yeah,
name's Jim, the guy who comes down from Springfield. Yeah. I'll
if he
ask
drives
him,
a
but I don't
Porsche, I
think it's
bet it's
him.
the same guy. Ask him. Ask him if he knows the guy in the Porsche. But yeah, one of the
Okay.
last times I was in Chicago, they honored him. It was like a big deal. He didn't know the store, the restaurant was packed. The bar was absolutely packed. It was amazing. He was just verklempt. I can't blame him. Pep Guardiola was like, "Thank you." I'd have peed. It was great.
Mhm.
I'd have peed.
I'd have peed.
well,
So
the
$99 is the same price that you can get the NBA League Pass for. So
I don't
I
know.
understand why they picked that price, but my problem is the MLS is not the NBA. You're
yeah.
just not. So to try to come at the same price point to me doesn't make any sense, and you're overvaluing your product.
Wait, League Pass is only $100 a month, a year?
Yeah.
Yeah, $99.99 a season. Now they
Yep,
have
if you have
premium was commercial free. That's 129, but yeah.
Do any of you besides me pay for Peacock?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I Peacock. Yep.
So if they had, I have to give NBC credit because they do have a lot of content based around Premier League that's on the app. I just don't watch it all. It would be interesting to see how they add content for this new. I mean, if they don't add content around it and they just expect you to pay for games, at least the NBA has NBA TV, and I can watch games out of my area if I don't pay for League Pass. So there is no MLS equivalent. So if they don't have any type of supporting program, and if they just expect you to pay for matches, that's a problem. And I'm not going to pay for that anyway. But if they don't have some type of supporting material, then that is a real problem.
Yeah, and several of us have said that, oh, we watch NYCFC games because of the tie to City. But to me, that's not a strong enough connection for me to commit, $100 a year for a team that I only support because they happen to, be a part of the same city football group.
Agreed.
I watch them if they're on TV, but I'm not gonna pay to watch them. And I was interested to see what Dana was gonna say because I know you guys just got St. Louis FC or whatever it is, and so I would be interested to know if you were going to be, okay, well, if it's an away game, I want to watch the away game too. And maybe if you start going and become a fan, it'd be different. But it doesn't sound like right up front that you have any plans on doing that. And again, like any team, you got to build that connection to them first. So.
Yeah, they definitely should have did like a reasonable price or something, like $50, like just like buy in, or maybe do like if you do the 100, we'll give you the second year for free. They need to figure some, and that maybe they'll learn. Because what I even think that they did was they made that announcement thinking that a lot of people would then just start subscribing to Apple Plus, and maybe they didn't see a boost that they thought they were going to, so now they have to pivot and try to catch up to the sales that they thought they were going to have. Quick question, Dana, is this your actual topic? Because I was messy and I wasn't able to like update all of these, and I wasn't sure if this was yours or from the previous guests about the World Cup.
Which one? Yeah, that's my topic.
Okay, so I mean,
Yes.
Would you like to intro it and ask it? And this is your podding debut, even though this is not a pod, but you know what I'm saying.
Sure. So the topic is the positive and negative aspects of the Winter World Cup for City's overall fitness going forward.
So what are your thoughts on?
So
what do you mean?
Yeah. So positives, I mean, I'm very against the World Cup, not just because of like the Qatar human rights thing. I just think international tournaments belong in the summer. They're messing with my club football. I don't like it. But I guess the main positive are the players that aren't going. So Haaland, Mahrez, I guess Gomez and Ortega would be like our 4 biggest players not going. So for our fitness going forward, it's good that, they should be fresh, hopefully, when we take on Liverpool and then Leeds. Another positive, I guess maybe the players who weren't playing. So Calvin, Kyle, maybe even like Ruben and Laporte, if they can, get some minutes, I don't think it would play maybe more than we kind of want our players to play in the World Cup. So maybe those 2 things could be positives, but I think it all really just remains to be seen. To see how everything plays out, how far players go into the tournament and things like that. You guys have any thoughts on any positives? Because I don't really have that many.
I think my biggest positive is like during this time, like the kids are going to get way more like hands-on instruction with Pep. So like Rico is going to get more hands-on instruction with Pep. Cole Palmer is going to get that more hands-on instruction with Pep, because like those just basically those repetitions they're going to be the ones taking them, not the guys that are at the World Cup. So I would be interested to see like what that does for them like moving forward. So like I think that's a positive for sure.
I think that because again, I agree with you that this is not the time for a World Cup, but we are where we are, right? So I think if our players weren't going, it almost becomes too much time off. And that's why you have these teams doing this Dubai Super Cup with all these crazy rules, right? You just want to get their players on the field, on the pitch, playing matches, even if they're under fake rules that Crunk drew up. They just want them to be out there on the pitch getting game time. So I think there's a happy medium. I want our players to be there to keep playing, but I only want them to go so far, get out, get a little couple weeks of rest, and then be really, energized and rejuvenated for the rest of the season. The worst case scenario, I guess, would be, well, of course, injury. But then if we had a bunch of players going deep into the tournament, that's going to mess up their ability to turn around and come back. I'm thinking like Ederson, our primary keeper. But again, we have Ortega, who's shown himself to be a good backup. So I'm not really an issue there. I don't know what teams that we have that have more of our players on it. I guess England. If England went to the final, there would be quite a few of our players that would be late coming back and would need some rest and all that kind of stuff. So I think we said it before: get to the semis and then get out. Don't go no further than that. Just stop trying. Which is why they don't want people betting on games, because they just quit trying and then go home.
Oh,
I love it.
yeah. No, I don't. I like that idea. Then I'll get to the knockout stages and just end out of it. And honestly, if it could be just England or just Spain. Oh, actually, I prefer. See, and that's the problem. I want to root for Portugal, but Ronaldo's on there, and I just feel like I'm just going to root for Argentina. So, yeah.
I already
don't
told
know
you what's
what
going to
I'm gonna
happen. I said it on the pod last week. It's going to be Argentina winning, and it's going to be our man Julian Alvarez that's going to be that's going to win Messi a World Cup trophy. Messi's going to owe it all to the young buck, and that's what's going to happen.
Did you see
And-
those? Did you see those
Yeah.
quotes that he had about playing with Messi? Like he like, you can tell like he understands that it's a privilege to play with him. Like, and I think that like he like also like I think he feels a responsibility to like kind of help Messi get a World Cup. Like, and I they're actually my dark horse to win. And it wouldn't necessarily impact City too much, because like you can probably afford to like not have your backup striker there.
And a story that I love, Aguero's not there, so that's sad because they're always roomies. But if it is Julian Alvarez who then helps him win a World Cup, that's another like City tie to Messi that I feel is real nice. So it still keeps the whole like love. And he can just come to us next year after we win him a World Cup. And I'm just kidding. I don't actually want him anywhere near City. It's just,
Thank you.
I was getting too deep into the character. Sorry.
He will be joining David Beckham in Miami
Amen.
at Inter Miami. And even then, I'm not paying $100 to watch MLS soccer.
But you
Do
know
you
what?
think,
I will get my ass on a plane and go to Miami and watch it in person. I would definitely do that.
That part I will do, yes.
Yeah.
So do you think Messi goes to Miami, or do you think Cristiano Ronaldo, who's not going to have a team after this week, probably is going to be the one that gets on the plane to play with his former teammate?
Well, if he gets on the plane to any United States,
but he can't come here. I forgot.
Cannot come. You can, like, you can. Please,
He gonna mess around and get locked up.
Yes.
please do.
They'll be waiting for the rumor, I guess, was Sporting, but yes. But yes.
Sorry,
Yeah, I
I just
forgot
remembered
too.
why he can't come to the United States. It
Yeah.
just
Oh,
hit
I
me.
forgot too.
I was
I was
like,
like, what? Oh, okay, gotcha.
oh man. I guess that's it. No, there's no more extra positives.
Actually, I have some.
Oh yeah.
So, the reason that I am sitting here with you all lovely people today is because Germany destroyed Brazil in the World Cup. And I sat and I watched it. And I was like, holy hell, what is this? And that is how I started to love the game. That is how I found Manchester City. And that is why I'm here right now. So I will always have a special spot for the World Cup in my heart, because here we are. But the only positives other than what you all have talked about is the timing. Is it in Doha? Yes. Does Qatar suck? We all have agreed that this is the case. But there is a bit of a captive audience, at least in the United States, because we're going to watch football and football, hopefully. So in the summer, there's a lot of competition, whether it be something that's not in a special there's baseball, there's other sports, there's rugby, there's everything else that competes with the World Cup. And even though the world kind of sets things aside for a little while, I think we have a little bit more of a captive world audience for the World Cup, and that puts more eyes on the game and maybe increases its profile in our country. So that's really kind of the only positive about this time of year. And I have a positive and a negative, and that's Pep Guardiola. Pep can tinker and Pep can tinker. I really think we lost that Brentford game because Pep was bored and he decided he wanted to play with the lineup. And this is what we got because he just wanted to see what would happen. Ooh, what happens if I do this? So I think this gives him lots of time to think. And that's either a good or a bad thing, depending on what he's thinking about. Because a bored Pep is a dangerous Pep, and that's how we lose 2-1 to Brentford. So I think that's a positive and a negative. And I don't know if we went to negatives yet, Dana, because I have a few. But I'll go back to you.
Okay. No, we haven't. We touched on maybe some negatives. My biggest negative is I'm really concerned for our midfield. I was looking at the players we have going to the World Cup, and I don't watch a lot of international football, but I don't think all of them are like guaranteed starters for the team. You know, like Ederson's probably not going to play unless Allison goes down or something like that. Or they've won the group and it'd be like that last game, they rotate and he can play. But I feel like our main midfield players, Bernardo, Kevin, Rodri, Gundogan, I think they're all major for their countries. And if they play, and I think all those teams can make it pretty far. If they play a lot, we could have like our 4 best, players can all come back, a little tired. So I'm really concerned for our midfield. Haaland is going to be, ready to go, but if nobody's there to deliver the ball to him because they're, they all need rest, I'm really concerned about them. It's a big negative for me. Kevin obviously is the biggest concern. Everything Belgium does goes through him. They can make it potentially to the final or I think they made it to the third place last World Cup or something. So, yeah, I don't know how the heat in Qatar affects players. I'm not a doctor, but I don't think it's great. So that's another negative for the players. But yeah, and I don't want to talk about injuries because I just don't want anybody to come back injured for any team, to be honest. So, but that's obviously a negative that could happen.
And there's already a video of the English players training, and they're like going in front of like one of those like air conditioned fans outside, and they look like they're melting. I was down in Houston, and Cole Palmer himself looked like he was dying, even though he's wearing a hoodie. They're not used to this heat. Most of these players aren't really used to this heat. They're doing practices at 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, and it's still 85 degrees out. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be an interesting thing to see. We're going to be finding out a lot.
I think this is why because it is so hot, think about it. Like, it is technically winter in Qatar. I think I'm okay with having the World Cup in a globally south location because I don't want to necessarily exclude them from being able to host a World Cup. I just think that maybe this nation was not the nation to we're gonna uproot everything. Maybe another global south nation, but not this one.
Yeah, I'm watching. Were there any more negatives? I just have a real quick tangent before we get to the end.
I have a couple. So in preparing for this, 134 players in the Premier League are part of World Cup teams. Man City has 21 spread across the City Football Group, 16 of which play for Man City. Some of them play for NYCFC, a couple of them play for Australia. So I went and I made a list. I think Dana's absolutely right. All of our players play for teams who can go deep in the tournament, except for maybe except for maybe Switzerland, and and Germany's always a threat. And you're right about Ederson. And if you've not read Gundogan's piece on the Players Tribune about his dual Turkish German identity and why he chooses to play for Germany, it is an amazing read. I suggest that you all read it. But City's carrying the load here. We have the most players from the Premier League from one team. And Dana is absolutely right. If they all go deep in the tournament, which they all can, that's a lot of work and that's a lot of time and that's just a lot of speed and that's a lot of, I don't want to say the I word because I don't want to bring things up. So I agree with Tarek. Get to the knockout stage and go home. Just go.
All right. I didn't know if anyone had.
Oh, I'm so sorry. One more thing I did prepare for.
No worries.
Also,
I forgot what I was gonna even say anyway. So
so the temperature in Doha when I did this was 77 degrees. The temperature in London is 49 degrees. The temperature in Barcelona is 62. The temperature in Cardiff, Wales is 37. And it's freezing here. So I think you're absolutely right. Phil Foden's going to faint. Jack Grealish is going to faint. That's what's going to happen. It's a different type of heat. And if they were wilting in Houston, this is going to be, an issue. So I agree with Tom also. I don't know if a place that's a desert should be a place where you host a tournament where people run for 90 plus minutes. It just seems illogical.
Yes. Well, we've hit that hour mark, so we have ran out of our gas. The show is ending.
Can I put a thought out in the metaverse for y'all to think about?
Depends.
Shades of Blue podcast live from Orlando during Premier League Fan Fest.
Goodness no.
No, come on, guys. Somebody got to go with me. I'm going. It is in January. Like the week of the 21st, 22nd.
You ain't catching me in Florida. You ain't catching me in Florida.
Yeah. My family's there. I'll be there. I'll be there.
Reagan has
I'll be coming back from DC, but I'll be there.
All right. Terry can represent.
No, I'm saying I'll be there in December because Reagan has a tournament.
Okay.
I just came back from Fort Lauderdale, so I'm not trying to go back too much. But yeah, we'll be there in December. So I was like, if it works out for that time, then cool. But I don't know. Like for instance, when it was on TV, my wife was like, "Why didn't you go to the Fan Fest in Philly?" Like for what? All I care about is City fans. I just saw all them in Green Bay. Now it was raining, so I couldn't, but I don't care about all those other teams. So why do I care? Why do I want to go there?
It's fun. I'm sure enjoy it. Time, actually, it is a great time. Yes. So I'm going.
But see, my problem is I don't want to see them trot out whatever the wrestler dude is with the Liverpool fans. Man, you can keep that.
I don't care about that either.
See that. Yeah. Unless you're gonna bring out a City fan, which we know they're not gonna do outside of Micah. Now Micah Richards is cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, they could bring out Crunk's quarterback. I would prefer them not to, but they could.
Let's not
keep that. You talking about the Packers?
Yeah.
Keep that dude.
And
I'd rather than bring out JJ Watt. Didn't he kick some field goals with us or something?
Yeah.
A couple years
ago. He did some. That'd be great.
That's right. Aaron Rodgers is a City fan. I forgot about that.
Only because they play in Green Bay. That's the only reason why. But like every time they even bring Sheamus, they'll try to talk football with him, and he just goes, yeah, I like football and I like the kicking and Liverpool. And so it's just that's the even more annoying thing because it's just like I don't even want to hear him and I don't want to hear him talk about Liverpool. And then he's not even like a typical Liverpool fan. It's just like you don't even really know what you're doing half the time. So it's just like, what are you doing? You're just screaming, my bro. Like, what are you doing? So it's just
I'm still going. I'm going to go see my family, and I'm going to have fun, and I will take lots of pictures.
We're talking about Sheamus. We're not talking about this fan fest. What are you?
Oh, Sheamus
Nah,
sucks.
So what you can do though is just hold up a sign that says Shady Gang and get that on TV. Now that I think I can get behind.
Man, do y'all know how many times I've been on my PL morning, and every single time I do, y'all are tagged in everything I do. It's been like 5 times this year.
It's perfect. It's perfect. That's how we're gonna grow.
We got time.
We can end with that. While you're at it, Dee Dee, do you want to let people know? I mean, it's in your name right there, but you want to let people know where they can find you?
Who me? Oh, well, for now, that's my Twitter handle until the ship goes down or whatever that is. I haven't set up a Mastodon channel, whatever. I hadn't thought about that.
Mastodon.
Yeah. So what you named it after a extinct animal, so that just does not bode well. But you can find me on IG at Andrea1908.
Dana, if you even want people to follow you, I mean, this is, just tell people.
No, yeah, it's fine. While it's still here at Flexible Tactics. No, I don't talk tactics on there, but I had to change it when Sonic left because I was upset. And then on Instagram at natty_dread_locks. Yeah, that's me.
So, no. I'll say Dee Dee talked about the extinct mastodons. I will just say I live in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Purdue Fort Wayne is known as the mastodons. So there's some offense taken there, but it's okay. We'll be all right.
I had no idea.
I'm just kidding. I
learned something today. I'm going to look it up as soon as we're done here, right?
Purdue Fort Wayne.
I am looking up. I am writing a note.
So my wow. I was about to say my degree is from Purdue Fort Wayne. It is technically, but whatever. Anyway, my stuff is on the screen there. I think at Tarek Peterson on Twitter, and we'll go from there.
We didn't really talk about this on the show on the Lit stream, but in one day and 20 some hours, you can find me at TomBomb816. I am currently serving a suspension for calling Beth Mead violently racist, and I stand by my words.
Free Tom Bomb.
Free Tom Bomb.
Yes.
Free Tom Bomb.
Attica.
Well, I guess we already found the name to our episode on Sunday. Episode 31, Free Tom Bomb. At Crunk Chocolate, CRUNKCHOCOLATE. Y'all know the vibe. Shady Gang. Shady Gang. Shady Gang.